changed a lot. We need more women in the industry. It's a great industry to be part of. So really this is a clarion call for more women to study engineering, get stuck in and learn about aviation.
The biggest change I have seen is in how much women support each other. So when I started my career, it was difficult to find women that were working to develop other women. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of focus. And now I see women constantly working as a priority to build each other up.
So during my career, I've seen more women coming into the targeted mission critical careers, such as we've been able to recruit more pilots. We're being able to recruit more aerospace engineers. So that's exciting. And I think that candidate pool is starting to grow. We, along with other companies and organizations around the world, are putting an intense focus on women, on girls, and underrepresented groups of people for STEM, and that includes aviation. And so I think we're starting to see some of those bubble through the pipeline into colleges and universities, and then being able to come into the aviation careers field.
It's become a much more inclusive environment. By that I mean that it's become much more normal to see women in leadership roles. Still not enough of them, but it's become a much more normal thing and much less out of the ordinary. And that just encourages others to also put themselves forward to lead.
I think the aviation industry has been a very male-dominated environment. But I'm happy today that I think more and more women start to take more leadership roles in aviation. But still, we need to continue pushing the progress, because we need to have more women to bring diversity and to help aviation industry recover fast, because we need to have all the brilliant talents available.
Oh, this has to be Chris Brown. So obviously, I'll come back to talk about Chris in a moment, but obviously Amy Johnson, historically was my heroine. I think she was amazing. But Chris, until very recently, was COO at EasyJet, and before that at various other airlines, and started her career in Iberia. And I just always had so much respect and found inspiring the amount of time that she's found to devote to coach and develop and bring on others, including a lot of women.
Well, my answer on that one is it's got to be Dame Deirdre Hutton, who until recently stood down as chair of the CAA.
I'm inspired by Terry Bristol, our COO of the Air Traffic Organization, being a woman that came from a non-traditional background, leading an operation of almost 40,000 people. I would also like to say I'm most inspired by the younger women that are entering the workforce today. They are fearless. They are so much more open to coaching and input, and they don't feel restrained in a way that we did when we started our careers.
Amelia Earhart, who's the first female to fly solo across the Atlantic.
Strangely enough, Amelia Earhart comes to my mind, which is strange. She's not in my immediate environment, but it's fascinating to see what she did at a time where women were not supposed to achieve what she achieved. So yeah, I will say that, Amelia Earhart.
I would really like to see the industry get better at how it communicates what the openings are for women in the industry. I think that too often there's a perception that you have to be, only engineers can work in the industry, for example, or only pilots. Now, both of those are hugely important, and therefore the activities around STEM and attracting female pilots are really key, of course. But there are so many other roles and so many inspiring and fun roles in our industry that lots of people with different backgrounds can do. So I would really like us to get better at communicating that much broader set of opportunities that are open to people.
More opportunities, more training, more access to people in, let me say, rural or disadvantaged community. They need to hear about aviation, and they need to have access to actually getting into the industry.
We definitely need more people to be studying engineering and learning all about the different aspects of aviation and aerospace. And if there's anything more that any of us can do to encourage that, think of it as a great career. We need people who know about kind of different things that you wouldn't have thought aerospace people would need to know about, like digital skills and materials expertise. So let's encourage more and more people to join.
Making sure that we look to recruit the right person for the role, and we do that by making sure that we don't constrain our thinking about what the role requires, and that we are open-minded about the skills, the talents, the aptitudes and mindsets that a person needs to bring.
I would like to see women supporting each other to the tipping point that we are in all leadership positions that are open to us, so that we're able to change the culture from being male dominated to a culture where all voices have equal value.
More events, more activities for engagement. I'd like to see more boots on the ground. I'd like to see more people out actively promoting opportunities for women in aviation. I think that that's the key. Again, I go back to the physical contact. I think that's very important. And I think that once we're able to do that, and other organizations as well, I think people will start to I think people will start to want to become more involved in aviation.
More female pilots.
One is more women in leadership, because first it sets an example. All other women, younger women especially, can see themselves that, hey, it's possible. So we need to have more women, and this also needs to have participation of men to support, to open doors and open opportunities, lend their helps. That's number one. And number two, I believe we need to have more women development programs and commitment from the company, not only the program, commitment for the company towards creating opportunities for women through a number of initiatives that helps women go up.
By letting them know all the roles that are available in aviation, all of the roles, multiple options.
Well, Airbus and many other companies do a lot of schools liaison, and it's going into the schools, and it's not necessarily people my age. It's actually maybe some of the apprentices and the graduates that we have at Airbus who can go into the schools, and they're not so different in age maybe to some people, and encourage them to get learning. And it's not just aerospace, also space, when you think of the opportunities there. So it's using role models and getting out there and talking about the story.
Give it a go. It can be daunting thinking about what career to choose, but I think trying something and learning in trying is the best way to do it. And it may be that at some point there are some minor setbacks, or maybe some relatively major setbacks. Keep going, because one of the things that aviation will bring is a hugely rich variety of opportunities, and an unparalleled opportunity to work with colleagues across the globe, and to know that in working with colleagues across the globe, or colleagues within your own country, you're making connections, you're enabling connections, and that's just such a huge lift.
By sharing our stories. If a cultural anthropologist from a small town in upstate New York can find her dream job in aviation, anyone can.
Lead by example. Get out there, let them see you, tell your story. If you're a woman, if you're a male and you have a woman in your life that has been an influence, tell their story. It's the world's story. And once we've done great things, we don't own the story anymore.
If we all just committed to spending half an hour speaking at a school, think of the impact that could have.
It's really to have courage to be yourself, be your authentic self, and have the courage to change things where you see that it's not an environment that you're enjoying. Because I guarantee if you're in an environment that you're not particularly enjoying, there are going to be others around you that will be feeling the same. So reach out to them, speak to them, compare notes, and you'll be surprised how much you'll discover that actually a lot of others may be feeling and thinking what you are, and together with them you can really bring that change about.
There's nothing you cannot do. There's nothing stopping you. Sky's the limit, as always.
I would say get stuck in, come and join the industry. Your skills are needed.
Dream big and follow your dreams. Don't let anybody tell you you can't. And don't be afraid to reach out to peers, colleagues, friends for support and help, because it's through that network and that support that we learn and we grow and we excel.
That you're stronger and more competent and smarter than what you may think you are, and that you don't have any boundaries. Stretch yourself every day so that you're continually learning and growing so that you can impact the world.
It's a whole world out there and it's not new. Come be a part of it. There's something for you. And the trailblazers have already opened those doors. You just need to walk through them.
Follow your dreams. Don't let anyone distract you from those dreams, and never, ever give up.
Women can be anything that they want to be, so long as they drive the opportunities to come to their ways. Today, because the industry is under pressure and waiting to come back full force, so the opportunities for everyone to show their capabilities is open, because the situation expects the brilliant people, the most impactful people, to come on board and help push recovery of the industry. So I am a strong believer that more opportunities are given, not only to women, but for also men of various backgrounds and experience.
It has presented more opportunities because COVID required people that have great resilience, can handle multiple challenges at the same time, are decisive yet thoughtful, and are able to make change happen. And all of that was required during COVID, and women possess those uniquely.
I think the impacts of lockdown, if I'm right, have perhaps been more marked for women where caring responsibilities have been evident. I think the aviation sector will recover. It will take time, and I suspect, or maybe I hope, that as it recovers, the importance of the whole person, whether female or male, will be absolutely recognised in the work of airlines, tour operating companies, airports, regulators, government. We are all human beings, and I think the COVID crisis has made that abundantly clear.
I would say more opportunities. It's now about who can do the job, who can turn things around, who can take us back to how things were, or even to the promised land. So it's open.
I think it's done both, to be honest. I think, unfortunately, from a damaging point of view, with so many businesses having to contract, having to reduce, unfortunately, the statistics just have shown historically that a lot of leavers in that environment tend to be women, because, the onus on homeschooling and etc. has largely fallen on women's shoulders. But having said that, on the plus side, certainly I can speak, this has been the case at Rolls-Royce, it's enabled businesses to recognise that actually flexible working is a real, not just a hypothetically possible, it's actually really possible. And I think that will help many people who, again, can often be women, recognise that they can still be really productive and do a really great job and balance that with the rest of their life?
I'd say more in the sense that I think I know quite a few women who have taken the time out during COVID to actually think about their careers and think about what they want to do, and have considered furthering their career in aviation.